It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies, current releases, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim, coming to us from somewhere in North America. Hello, Jim.
Hey, hey.
So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Well, this week on the podcast, we talk about two films we saw in cinemas, a shit ton of docs we saw at Cuff Docs Fest, Open Rage, The List, Rage or Dare, and then we look forward to next weekend, as I'm sure there will be a ton of great films coming to theaters. Probably not.
Probably not.
Exactly. Well, What did we see in theater?
Well, Jim, we got an extra special presentation of Zappa. It was part of the Calgary Underground Film Festival, the Docs. Originally it was supposed to be their opening gala. Unfortunately, plans changed. But they were still able to show it in cinema by showing it at the Old Globe. So it was nice to get out there.
Yes, it was.
Yes, so this was a pretty cool look into the life and the music of Frank Zappa. It was a pretty objective look at Zappa, highlighting a lot of the good without shying away from the bad. Zappa was a musical genius, but in this pursuit of the perfect performance, he was also kind of a dick. For all the good he did in his life to benefit the planet, he was also a terrible husband and father. This was a pretty ambitious doc as it squeezes Zappa's entire life from his youth to his death into a couple of hours. We get to know the man and are able to decide for ourselves what we think of him. The one thing that, however, cannot be argued is that Zappa had an original voice, and his genius will live on forever in his music. The film showed us the good, the bad, and the ugly as it pertains to Frank Zappa. Zappa the man was sometimes Mondo, and sometimes he would make you rage. But Zappa the film was just Mondo.
Oh, so I have always loved Zappa's music.
Yep.
And have completely been in love with the weirdness that is Zappa pretty much my whole life. We talk about focus as a main driver in great docs. Well, this was right out the window with Zappa.
Yep.
With its creepy overlay edits and heavily drug-influenced montage weirdness. The psychedelic weirdness is heavy through the entire beginning of the film, and then settled into itself at about halfway through the film. Just as the doc took new direction, as Zappa started to also change direction. I can't think of a movie or a doc that is perhaps so controlled and uncontrolled at the same time. It travels through Zappa's life with ease and excitement. I was in awe and had a shit-eating grin on my face the entire movie. This takes on everything you ever wanted to know about Zappa, but were afraid to ask. Do you think Zappa knew Clapton was a racist when he did this recording session with him?
Nope.
Nope, I'm probably sure not. Not a big part of the movie, but anytime I can call out Clapton as a racist, I'm happy to bring this up. Gets a Zappa, the musical super genius, who didn't get the respect he deserved, huge, massive fan mondo. One of my favorite lines in the whole movie was, "Your chance to be a star with one note."
Nice. Yeah, no, yeah, it was great. I love Frank Zappa as well. I tried to, not put my fanboy hat on going into the doc, because I knew even if it wasn't great, I was still going to enjoy like most of it just because it's Zappa. But
yep.
This was actually really well done. And the point you make where it does kind of bounce over, and it's kind of, at some points, it's like you're in like some sort of drug-induced sort of state while you're watching this, because it's kind of crazy. And how else would you make a Zappa? It's so weird that that's the way he was, yet the guy didn't do drugs, But
yeah, the whole time
he never had to. He just, he didn't need anything to help his creativity. The guy just was that creative.
Well, and do you remember? Like, I can't remember, but I don't think he drank either. Like, he didn't drink. They didn't, like, it was just his creativity caused his weirdness, I guess. But I mean, he was always pushing the envelope about musical sound. And it was kind of funny because we had talked before we're going in. Remember, on the way to the theater, and I turned to you and said, "Hey, did you know that a lot of Zappa's musicians also played with Yoko Ono?" And then, lucky for us, we got to see it
right in the film. It's like, I guess that's how they met. They're on the same stage together there.
That's right. They're on the same stage together. And I was just like, it kind of makes sense, right? Like,
Zappa got together with Yoko Ono and John Lennon. They did a little concert, and then we had some crossover.
Yeah. Oh man, this is a beautiful doc. Anybody who loves Zappa will love this film. But anybody who doesn't know Zappa, if you want to know who he is, this is a film to watch.
Absolutely. As I say, it shows you the good and it shows you the bad, because he's he wasn't always the best guy, but
he was a dick.
He was a total dick. Yeah, he was a hard. I was sure he was a hard guy to work with too.
Yeah, all of the musician friends. But who is it? Underwood or under the one percussionist that he worked with.
Yeah, I can't
was just
remember.
blown away. He changed her life, right? Like I mean, I can imagine working with someone that creative. It would change anybody's life. You can't avoid it.
All right, and from there we go to Vanguard, Jim.
That's right. So yeah, we went and saw Zappa at our beautiful independent theater, the Globe. We saw Vanguard at Mainstream Cinema. I actually ended up seeing it at Landmark. I'm not sure where you saw it, but oh, sweet! You wanted that Diet Dr. Pibb, didn't you?
Yeah. Yes, they have many diet options that apparently I wasn't aware of.
Yeah, and now you're well aware, so you never want to go back to Cineplex. That's okay. So Vanguard is a covert security company.
Yeah.
And it's the last hope of survival for an accountant after he is targeted by the world's deadliest mercenary organization.
They're so deadly.
Even the write-up for this makes me laugh. And we've got the great director / writer, Stanley Tong, again with his buddy Jackie Chan in this.
Yeah.
If I need a bodyguard, I'm going to call Vanguard. They seem to get the job done. How is that, you say? Well, if you have a client and then they get kidnapped, seemingly randomly, by the way, you need to get him back and protect him. Am I surprised Liam Neeson is not in this movie? Hell yes.
He should have been.
Cop and exactly, it was like a total Liam Neeson movie. Super Cop and Mr. Magoo director teams up with Jackie Chan yet again for the ride of a lifetime. This movie has everything a Hong Kong action film should have. It has Jackie Chan, terrible dialogue, convoluted simplistic plots, lots of kicking, punching, terrible CGI lions, terrible CGI hyenas, terrible CGI pretty much everything.
Yes.
Awful car chases, awful boat chases, hoverboards, skateboards, and the best thing ever, a security company that keeps fucking up and yet still gets to keep their job. Maybe it's because of their seemingly idiotic model for providing non-lethal, progressive attacks on their foes. Yeah, didn't kill one person the whole movie.
I didn't even notice that.
And then even then, I'm not sure anybody actually died, except maybe almost Jackie Chan during the filming.
Yeah.
In real life.
Couple times.
Even though all this terrible was happening all the time, all the way through it, I still found myself laughing at the entire movie. And I didn't say with this movie. I was laughing at this movie.
Yeah.
I categorized it as so bad, it's funny. Not funny enough to love it, but I'm giving it a very low meh because I love Jackie Chan still doing his own stunts at 60 plus years old. I love you, Jackie Chan. You know.
You know what? You're pretty much saying a whole lot of what I was about to say. I kind of feel foolish for even going on it, but I'm going to say it anyways, even though I could probably say ditto and we could get on with the show. But seeing as
I just want to talk more about it.
So, I mean, I should have hated this. It had bad CGI lions and hyenas, not to mention other CGI stuff going on. It had some really, really bad acting. It had some blatant anti-Western propaganda if sprinkled in too. I don't know if you noticed that.
Totally.
Like all through. It's like, oh my God. Yet still the action was fun. And Jackie Chan has an undeniable charisma. No one can deny this guy's got charisma out the wazoo, man. This had ridiculous scenario after ridiculous scenario with uninspired, bland dialogue, but it was still fun. It had some of the worst acting you could hire, yet I was still enjoying myself. In the opening action scene, we got two of our Vanguard heroes getting contacted by their headquarters via their Dick Tracy radio watches.
I know.
Complete with them touching one ear as they spoke into the watch. I knew right there that this movie was gonna be terrible, but I also knew that was part of its charm. I kind of found this movie amusing. I kind of thought it was meh.
Attaboy. Whoa, is this gonna be another episode where we agree on everything?
I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it too. There's some docs in here I know you're gonna hate and I actually liked, and vice versa. So
Maybe. All right.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, we
How
got
about
more.
this?
Yes.
You can't do it!
I don't even know what that was. Let's not do it again, though. All right. Ready to move on, my friend?
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about Cuff.
Let's talk about Cuff, yes. So that would be streaming.
Streaming. Streaming.
Cuff style.
Streaming. And then Bryce, we did what?
We streamed some Cuff.
Marie's not here. Talk about football.
All right. Well, let's kick it off with one of the, I think maybe one of the more anticipated docs that was at Cuff Docs this year. It was on all their, you know,
Posters,
posters and advertising. When you go into the opening little spiel they got, it's the first thing you see. So it is called.
Just maybe.
Yep.
Just a sec. Before you do that, let's just say these are all part of Calgary Underground Film Fest, actual documentary film festival that happens every November.
And it's always worth checking out.
It's always worth checking out. And their website is calgaryundergroundfilm.org. So you can go and see what played there. Even if we didn't talk about it, you can see that stuff online, and make sure you check out the ones that look good.
Keep an eye out for them. So the first one's called He Dreams of Giants from 2019. This is the follow-up to Lost in La Mancha, a film that documented the unsuccessful attempts of Terry Gilliam to bring the man who killed Don Quixote to the big screen. But this time the filmmakers get to film Gilliam's successful effort as he actually finishes the project he conceived of decades before. It follows Gilliam as he struggles with his budget, his actors, and nature, and completes his passion project that seems at many points that it was never, ever going to be completed. The original doc, Lost in La Mancha, was a lot more entertaining than this one. This one sort of mirrored the movie it is based on, as both of them were meh.
Oh, so far we're batting 1,000 here, buddy.
Yeah.
He Dreams of Giants. Well, Terry Gilliam. Who knew Terry Gilliam was so fucked up? Apparently not this guy. But after remembering, he is also the guy who directed Brazil. I should not be so surprised.
Yes.
Personally, I love Terry Gilliam's films.
As do I.
And to a lesser degree, this film about his passion project. Seems a bit weird to come out 2 years after the opus was released, 2018. The Man Who Killed Don Quixote. I enjoyed this journey to a degree, but found it a little stale after a while. I like it, but I didn't love it. Gets a man. Terry, you need some therapy, meh.
Yes.
Now, have you actually seen this movie, the Don Quixote?
Oh, yeah. The Man Who Killed Don Quixote?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, no, I've seen it. It's underwhelming.
Oh, no. Like, underwhelming as in a rage? Because...
It's not a rage.
Like,
did you not listen to me? This one sort of mirrored the movie it is based on, as both of them were meh.
Yeah.
It's a meh.
Oh, yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, but
okay,
good. I mean, Lost in La Mancha, that was Mondo. The Man Who Killed Don Quixote, though, it's not terrific. I mean, it's okay. It definitely has, it's a Terry Gilliam film, so it's not going to be all bad, obviously. It's definitely got some good stuff in it, but
not the movie wanted, right? Because they talk about the budget, and it didn't get all the budget it should have.
No,
or he wanted it to.
Not even close. So, when you plan out a movie at a, and you're planning on spending a certain amount of money, and you come back with a fraction of that money, you got to kind of change things on the fly, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't, and I'm afraid it didn't really work out this time, but that's just one man's opinion. Other people may disagree, but it wasn't great.
Well, we may have to talk about it later, so there you go.
There you go.
Well, the next one we saw was Insert Coin.
Yes.
The oral history of a team of geeks and misfits in the back of a Chicago factory creating the biggest video games, Mortal Kombat, NBA Jam, and others.
Yes.
So, another one of these docs where the story about Midway Games is interesting enough.
Yes.
But since I'm not a gamer, I did play most of the games they talked about. But as I'm not a gamer now, the passion for Midway is not there. And I think for this doc, you will enjoy it better if you are a geek gamer who loves vintage. For me, it was a meh.
But didn't it take you back to those days?
Yeah, whatever. I live in the here and now, buddy. I don't live in the past. Whatever. Yeah, exactly. Whatever. I was kind of bored after about halfway through it. I was kind of like, it's interesting and all. But, this is like the 10th doc we've seen probably in the last 2 years. It's like, oh, we've got movies about Donkey Kong. Oh, we've got movies about Atari.
Yeah,
got movies about
the Atari one's sort of similar to this.
Commodore 64's got one. It's like one after another.
This was a little. I thought this was a little different. It was a little more interesting with the takeovers and the thises and the that's. It was all right. Pretty standard Talking Heads doc. I enjoyed watching it. It is a behind-the-scenes look at some of the biggest video games from my youth. I plugged many a quarter into a majority of the games that were discussed. It comes off as a rise and fall of an era type of doc, which are always at least interesting. If you spent a lot of time in the arcades in the 80s and the early 90s, you'll probably really enjoy this. This was a boom shakalaka meh.
So we were on the same page.
Yeah, but I think I liked it a little more than you.
You probably liked it a little bit more, but it wasn't
At the end of the day, it wasn't Mondo. What are we talking about?
Let's potentially talk about one that might be a Mondo.
What's that?
I don't know.
Are we going to do the short real quick first? Did you watch
the short.
Dump Matsumoto?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so as I say, just really, I mean, she was kind of an interesting cat. But it was a meh. I didn't mind watching it though. It was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. Good little short about a female Japanese wrestler who has a bad relationship with her father until he dies. Yeah, it was a meh for me.
Yeah, it's always amazing to me, these people that have like terrible relationships with their father, but they're so broken up when they finally don't have their father anymore.
And I think in her case, it was a case of, she actually did have a chance before he died to start to build that relationship up, but I don't know. I'm definitely in the camp of people, if you've got a dick as a father or a mother, tell them to fuck off. I have no time for anybody that's a dick in my life.
All right, on that positive note, let's move on to The Last Villains, Mad Dog and the Butcher.
Snap.
Yes. So this is a peek into the lives of the Vachon wrestling family as told by the surviving member Paul the Butcher Vachon. Fairly intriguing doc about the wrestling business and the toll it takes on the family dynamic. The sacrifices that are made become more and more apparent as the doc rolls on. Anytime I can see footage of Maurice Mad Dog Vachon, it is always a pleasure. Mad Dog's interviews were always entertaining back in the day. The doc also touches upon sisters and daughters that got into the business. Overall, this tale of triumph and tragedy is worth a look. It was meh.
Okay, well, first off, I am not a fan of wrestling or movies about wrestling. But this one, I actually loved a lot.
Yeah.
I love the Vachons. They're Canadian icons to me as a kid, not even a fan of wrestling.
Oh, you knew them.
I do tell you, I watched wrestling as a kid up until I was about 10. And the only wrestling that I liked was the Montreal wrestling on Saturday morning.
There you go.
So
you got a lot of Vachon.
I was getting my full dose. So it was great to see this doc celebrating Paul, Maurice, Luna, and Vivian.
Yep.
What a great man, great journey, and great doc. It was Mondo for me.
Wow.
Favorite line, "We can't stop living because I'm afraid he's going to stop living."
Yes. Yeah.
By his wife.
How heartbreaking was that? She's kind of cool. I really liked his wife.
Yeah, you know what? And I talk about this a lot, and I know you feel the same way a lot. This had, in contrast to some of the other docs that we may have found that were meh, just like Zappa, this one let you see the complete life and a really well-developed character development of Paul Vachon.
It did.
It was fantastic. And for me, if I'm going to see a doc about anybody, I want to know them. I don't want to have him brush over stuff and make it all watered down and shitty. This had his, you said about Zappa, it had the good, the bad, and the ugly of the Vachons, and they had some both. And what a traumatic experience! He's the last one of his whole wrestling family to still be around, right? So yeah, I really loved it. I connected with him and his wife, and I thought it was a great doc.
Cool. All right, sir. We have another short that was before Stalking Chernobyl: Exploration After Apocalypse. But before that, there was a short called My Brother's Keeper.
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
Friendship and conversion to Islam through Guantanamo Bay Mondo. I actually screened this as pre-screen because I'm on Cuff's screening group. And I really enjoyed this short. I thought it was really well done and surprisingly really heartwarming as a very interesting take on this conversion to Islam through this guard. So I thought it was Mondo.
All right, it's you never know where you might find a lifetime friend, Mondo.
Oh baby, this is good. Normally you don't like shorts.
I don't like a lot of shorts. I think I might be giving a couple Mondos coming up too. So.
Oh snap!
All right, sir. Let's talk Stalking Chernobyl.
All right. Well, Stalking Chernobyl.
Yes.
That was a mess.
That's it.
I don't have much to say about this. Again, I hate to bring this up, but how many fucking movies have we seen about Chernobyl lately? It's like,
but this was a little different. I mean,
No, it wasn't. I've seen probably 7 docs that have almost a similar model about I've literally go on Amazon Prime, go on Netflix, go on YouTube and search docs, and you'll probably find 10, and I've seen probably 8 of them. So after seeing 8 of them, it didn't bring me anything new. There's nothing in this doc that I didn't already know. And it wasn't as good as some of the ones that I saw. It didn't make me rage. I thought some of it was okay, but it was a meh for me. Yeah. I did find it interesting because I knew too much about it.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was interesting, but in no way was it enthralling. A lot of dumb stuff being done. I guess that makes this mildly entertaining. I was shaking my head for a lot of it, but right now I'm also shaking my head and I'm saying, meh.
It's funny because there's a lot of mess going on here today, but it's still glad we got to see some of
Oh,
these
yeah.
dogs.
Yep. All right, on to Flint.
Now, yeah, the one that you've been waiting for your whole life.
I've been waiting for my whole life. I've been seeing 9,000 documentaries on Flint. I'm getting flinted out, man.
Oh, no.
Okay, so yeah, guess what I thought of this one. So Flint. This doc revisits the town of Flint, Michigan as it continues to get poisoned by its elected officials by providing its drinking water from the polluted Flint River instead of Lake Huron. Very similar footage as other Flint water docs, but this time we got a manipulative bait and switch from the filmmakers. In fact, we got 2 bait and switches. On 2 different occasions in this doc, we are led to believe that a gentleman is acting in the best interest of the citizens of Flint, only to find out that they are out for themselves and could care less about the city of Flint. I guess that is the point. No one seems to be looking out for the citizens of Flint. Even if this was the point of introducing these gentlemen in the way that they did, it was still kind of annoying. This could have been a short showing that nothing has really changed in Flint. Oh, and by the way, stick to acting, Mark Ruffalo, or at the very least, if you're going to take up a cause, make sure you know who you're teaming up with. Anyways, this was a manipulative meh.
Oh, interesting. So, this Flint is a fucking genocide. I don't care what anybody calls it.
It is.
The only thing great to come out of this is that I actually saw Mr. Potato himself, Mark Ruffalo, appear to have an emotional reaction to anything. And I don't think he was acting.
No, he wasn't.
Well,
but he was still a doofus.
Well done, Mr. Potato. Now use it for future good.
Yes, his intentions were good.
Future good acting. And, oh yeah, thanks, Obama, for showing up in this movie. You are also a dick. Michael Moore already showed us all this from his movie. So, yeah, this actually, of all the Flint docs, I think it had more content about the fall for most of the Flints that we've seen. So I kind of like that. But yeah, ultimately it was a mess for me too.
I wanted it to be better.
Yeah, it's true. But it still made me angry. Like all the way I'm through it, I'm like, why was this even happening? Yeah. Like how is someone like allowing this to happen? And then you have a fucking president that's supposed to be the future of America who comes, and then he does nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I do. All right. Let's move on.
That's a lot of meh.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get some Mondos or Rages or something. I need something, man. All right. What do you have to say about Tiny Tim King for a day, my friend?
Well, Tiny Tim King for a day. The man, the mystery, what the fuck was this? Always respected his weirdness, but always thought of him as a gimmick. Liked the structure and the format of the doc. Thought it was fine. Super well, but still I'm not a fan of his work. It's a mildly entertaining mess. It's like, how did somebody milk 15 minutes of fame for, 25 years?
Yeah, decades, man.
Just like tiptoe through the tulips gets old after a while.
You would think.
Apparently not.
So going into this, I knew next to nothing about Tiny Tim. Now I know too much. This was meh.
That's all you're giving us?
That's all I'm giving you. That's all. It was.
That's all it deserves.
Yeah. Let's move on. Unless you have something Okay, give me something more about Tiny Tim.
Well, do you really want more detail about Tiny Tim?
You talk all you want about Tiny Tim. I'm done.
Oh, I don't really want to talk more about him. I just find it very interesting. Someone as creepy and weird and disgustingly disgusting as him
Yeah.
could have what? 10 wives? Like, holy cow, buddy.
Yes.
Like, and like the one at the end that kind of was his last girlfriend. No, there wasn't. I can't remember. There's so many that. But the one that actually left her boyfriend to go be with him was just like, what?
Who can blame her?
Like, I'm so enthralled with him, I'm gonna leave you for him. That was kind of like the icing on the cake for that movie. So, I mean, am I glad I saw this? Yeah, because there was a lot of weird shit happening in it that I never knew. But yeah, it's still a man.
I'm sorry. As I said before, now I know too much.
Yeah, you can't hide it. Can't hide from the truth.
All right, No Visible Trauma. This is a local film.
Yes, it is.
Yes, filmed right here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. The beautiful city in southern Alberta that I'm from. All right, documentary that shines a light on the police brutality, racism, and sexism that plagues the Calgary Police Service. Pretty embarrassing that this is happening in my hometown. This doc tells the stories that I've heard over the years, and at every individual time they made me angry, but then you think, okay, maybe that was an isolated incident. But then when you get all these incidents presented at once in a single movie, it is obvious that these were major problems that needed to be stopped. Important movie that makes the point that no one should be above the law, especially those that are enforcing it. I was not expecting to have an emotional response to this, and I did have an emotional response to this. So because this movie actually did affect me, I guess it makes this doc mondo.
Who knew?
Yeah.
What the fuck, CPS? It's tough to watch some of the injustice in this film.
It is, especially
Covers
since
a lot
it's
of ground.
Like you're looking at places that you know, and you're like, "Fuck, that happened there."
I know. I'm just like, what? It covers a lot of ground. Very regional though, so it hits closer to home. I think with us, it's happening everywhere. This isn't an abnormality by the sounds of things, right? I was watching.
It isn't, but then when they were comparing us to New York, and we've got more shootings, and it's like, what? For police officers, that's crazy.
But I mean, they didn't also break down. They didn't break out the shootings for different races. It was like there was people in there. Like it was one of them was a Caucasian dude. There was a black dude that was like. So what is like CPS? It doesn't matter. They're not necessarily racist. They're just assholes.
Yes. Well,
the culture's built.
You don't want to get taken on that Starlight tour.
Yeah. No. Exactly. Right. I mean, at -30. This isn't just a Calgary thing, I don't think.
No, it's not, but it's still,
It's North American. Because I saw the news the other day, they were talking about even our RCMP at the whole grassroots level of RCMP is sexist and racist. So it's like, things got to change, man. Like, this movement of protecting our citizens has to get better, man. It just has to get better. I didn't love this as much as you. I've seen so much movies about cops lately. I did feel emotionally charged by it, and it did annoy me, but it was just a meh for me.
Yeah, fair enough. By the way, what year is it?
Isn't it this year?
No, I'm saying what year is it right now?
2020.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, this shouldn't be happening. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that shouldn't be happening in 2020, but apparently they still are.
All right. So from there, we go to something that I got to skip over because I'd already seen it. The short before Morgana.
Oh.
We watched this piece of crap at South by Southwest.
Oh yeah, we did.
So there's a short called Modern Horror, and it's disgusting. I hate it. It's a rage. She's a horrible person.
Yeah, she's not the best.
She's horrible. She's not a feminist in any way. I just no.
No like.
No like.
It was a meh for me. I didn't hate it as much as you.
Anyways.
She's got her opinion. She wants us to know it.
Yeah, well.
Now, we haven't seen Morgana before, though.
No.
And I was looking forward to this.
Were you?
Yes, I was.
I was going to skip it, and then you said, we're watching Morgana, and I said, all right.
Okay. So much hope and positivity, followed by so much gloom and sadness. This film gives me hope that I can one day become a porn star. Lots going on in this film.
Yeah.
But by the end of the film, the portrait painted of Morgana is one that is interesting and unique for a 50-year-old housewife turned porn star who suffers from clinical depression. You won't get this storyline every day anywhere. And for that reason alone, it gets an Aussie weirdo, sexy, older lady mondo. I love this movie. It was just enough fucked up for me to enjoy.
Yeah. You know what? Good for Morgana. Doc was meh.
Bad for you?
Doc was meh. That's it. I'm done. Let's move on. I didn't hate it. I'm not unhappy that I watched it.
Right on.
But I wouldn't have been unhappy if I didn't watch it either.
There you go. That's the best.
Yeah, it's just wonderful. All right, let's move on to some shorts, rapid style.
Rapid fire. All right. Well, you list them off, and I will spell out my stuff.
Darling pet monkey.
It's a mondo. Mail order monkey. Who doesn't want one?
I felt sorry for the monkey. Meh.
Okay. Now pronounce that.
I'm not going to. I'm going to give you the English title. Many Bloodlines.
Cool indigenous lesbian baby love meh.
Not really invested in this couple. Meh.
All right.
Red Robinson.
It was okay. Interesting Vancouver DJ doc. It was meh.
Square doc about a square guy. Meh.
That's right.
Malby.
By the way,
yep.
This is my favorite short doc that I screened. The entire screening.
This next one, Malbeek?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's a mondo for me. Subway Tragedy, favorite doc of the fest. I loved this movie.
Missed the mark with me. Cool visuals, but the gravity of the situation should have made me care more. Meh.
Too bad.
That is too bad. That joke isn't funny anymore.
Tough times, tough luck, sad, not funny. Meh.
I liked it. They're not jeans, they're my own. Mondo.
Okay.
Paloma's Pit.
Fucked up and awesome. Cats are cool, and so is the stock. It's Mondo.
Whole thing had a weird vibe. Meh.
I like weird.
Yeah, the vibe was. It didn't strike me the way it should have. I should have actually cared more, and the whole vibe just didn't fit what they were trying to accomplish.
But
in my
cats
opinion.
are cool.
I didn't
Cats
like it.
are cool.
Yeah, cats. That didn't achieve that. If that was the message, I missed it. Marty.
Punk rock rules, and so does Marty. Rock on, Marty. That's a mondo.
Why do I care about this kid? Meh.
You don't care about anything these days. Okay. What else you got?
Synopsis.
Wrestling. Ugh. Calgary connection. Yay. Doc is meh.
Why do I care about this dude? Meh.
This is your whole stick. I also love this one, by the way. Okay.
The Chimney Swift.
Historical. Amazing doc about child labor. Mondo.
Pretty crazy that this was a thing. Meh. All right, and from there we go to Charlie's Lot.
Weirdos with cars. I don't get it, but it's still a mondo.
Glad he doesn't live on my street. Mondo.
Okay, we gotta unpack this one a little bit.
All right.
If this guy lived on my motherfucking street and he had, 28 cars or 34 cars?
It was a lot of cars.
It was like I think it's over 30. This guy would park on the street.
Yep.
In a neighborhood that doesn't have a lot of parking.
Jim, but he gave his neighbors his phone number so they could phone him up and he'd move his car if they needed the spot.
Yeah, okay, so how much
if he was around.
Yeah, exactly. If he wasn't busy with his cars. This guy is a fucking nut job. And if this guy lived on my street, there would be car explosions every other day.
I'm glad he doesn't live on my street.
Work, this is what I'm saying is if I came home and couldn't find a parking spot, and I knew it was this douchebag, his car would be towed or blowed up real good.
He was awesome. I liked him.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's a mondo, but I would literally murder this guy.
I would murder him.
You'd be murderized for sure.
You'd be so murderized.
Now, you saw a bunch of other stuff. We're not going to talk too much about them, but did you just want to blast out some of the other ones you saw and what you gave them?
We could do that. That doesn't sound like the worst idea. I'd actually have to see a list of what was on. Give me one.
No, we pretty much saw everything, and there was a bunch of stuff that we saw. And they were all okay. Some of them were good. Some of them were great.
Yeah, give me a second here. I'm on the site right now.
On the devising thing.
Yes. All right, so stuff we didn't talk about. Cured. Yeah, it was meh.
I didn't see it. Oh, no, I did see it. It was meh.
For Mad Men only, the stories of Del Close. I really liked this. It was mondo.
Right. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, you should have, you silly boy.
Devil.
You said you saw Love Mobile?
I did see Love Mobile. I loved it. It was mondo for me.
There you go.
I loved it.
So I watched Prayer for a Lost Mitten because it won the jury prize.
Yes.
And yeah, it was kind of boring. It was in black and white, so I had high expectations.
Yeah, it's like a given.
Yeah. Spider Mabel, a real life superhero story. I was actually expecting really not to like this, because I hate kids and all.
Yeah, who doesn't?
I don't hate kids. I just really don't like them. I just don't like them at all. But honestly, the first 45 minutes or so of this, I was quite taken with this film. It was actually really well done. It kind of drags a little bit at the end. But I'm really glad I watched it. They offered it as a live stream on 6:30 because at 6:30 on closing night. Well, not really closing night, but on November 29th.
Nice.
And I'm glad I watched it because it was quite good. It was meh, but it was a high meh. It was a high meh. Nice. The Dilemma of Desire. More clitoris talk. I
love clitoris talk.
Yeah, it was mad. I already saw was it last year that they showed the clit or whatever it was called?
Yeah.
It's covered the same crap. So, it was
same
fine.
Topic about split.
Yeah. Yeah. And Truth or Consequence.
Can't hate it.
Yeah, no. I got no problem with the clit. Truth or Consequences. And it was meh. Just some weird dudes hanging around New Mexico that, maybe should move. I don't know. So there you have it. So yeah, no, I pretty much saw it, and the shorts. I'm not going to go through all the animated shorts, but there was some good stuff in there. But as always, Cuff did deliver. Cuff Docs was a success all in all. I don't think I gave any rages. Oh, wait a second. There might be one that might have got a rage.
You gave it short a rage.
Yeah. Enemies of the State. I'm actually going to talk about that in my rage, so I'll save that one.
Sweet.
All right, sir.
Well, let's get it on.
Let's do it. Boom, 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 boom.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Well, my rage this week it's going to be a little short, only because I don't really want to talk too much about this. But my big rage is, why does Hollywood save almost all the really good dramatic films to the last part of the year, trying to squeak it all in?
You know why?
So they can get in by the time of Oscar buzz. And it pisses me off because we could have been seeing some of this stuff in the summertime, but now we've got to have them all jammed in, and then we don't get any great Christmas horrors. Although the new Mel Gibson one, I think, is going to come to theaters, but it's already out on rental, so I don't know what's going to happen with that. But yeah, it kind of annoys me that they wait till some of the greatest dramas of the year, and they're all jammed in at the end of the year. It's like, spread them out through the year.
It's got to be fresh in the Academy's mind. You realize that a lot of the Academy are like 90 years old, so you can't be putting it at the beginning of the year, because then they'll forget about it. They got to put it right at the end so that...
They don't see half of them anyway, so the Academy's a fucking joke. So it doesn't really matter if they see it or not. They're just going to go, oh, I know Meryl Streep. She gets a vote, even though sometimes she doesn't deserve it, because motherfucking Glenn Close does. That's. Oh, don't even get me started on that.
Don't even get me started.
Get me started.
All
well,
right.
what do you? Hey, let me hear your juicy rage.
You want to hear my juicy rage? I don't know how juicy it is, but I'll give you my rage anyways. My rage is 100% juice free.
No.
Okay, maybe it's like 20% juice. All right, my rage. If you are going to make a bait and switch doc, make it effective, or do not go down that route. This seems to be done way too often these days, and most of the time it is not that effective. I saw 2 docs last week that used this device, and one of them was not effective enough to warrant my manipulation in the case of Flint. And in the case of Enemies of the State, it was obvious early on that nothing this kid was saying made any sense, which made the way they presented him as a victim super flimsy and ineffective. I thought we were actually going to review Enemies of the State, but I can sum it up with this sentence. It was a manipulative rage. Anyhow, if you're going to try to manipulate me, you better make sure it's effective. That's my rage.
Whoa, I love it.
Yeah, they do this too often these days, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but if you're going to do it, you better damn well make sure that it works. You're sitting here, you're presenting this guy, and you're building him up, and it's like, oh, this guy's wonderful, and he's done this, and he's super innocent, and blah, 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 just so they can turn it at the end, and it's just kind of annoying. It's a documentary still, you know, it's not a dramatic feature, so to have a twist in it, unless it's a natural twist, not the documentary filmmaker trying to manipulate the truth, you know, it's just kind of annoying to me.
Yeah, I actually hate these type of dogs. I hate it. So yeah, I'm on board with your rage. That's why I didn't see this movie.
There you go. All right, sir. So,
rage subsiding, pulse slowing, anger fading.
Haha.
Well, I had not seen Shirley, so we can't talk about Michael Stuhlbarg again.
Stuhlbarg.
Which is actually frustrating me, because I really want to see this movie, and unless I want to pirate it, I can't see it, which is pissing me off.
Yes.
If I could have raged about that again, I could do that all day long. But what I can tell you is I do have some update. Now, it's not a complete update, but I'm letting everybody know that there is a really good chance that Kelsey Grammer and Denise Richards will make the doubted list, because I did see Money Plane.
Oh, and was it great?
It was terrible. It's so bad.
But it's pretty good.
No, it wasn't even funny bad. It was just bad.
But it was meh.
No, it's a super duper pooper rage.
Okay, well,
It was.
I will promise you.
I can't wait for you to see it.
I
so
will
we can
promise
talk
you
about
I
it.
will watch Money Plane this week.
That is the best. I cannot wait till you see it. I want to talk about it so much.
All right.
So that's a little bit. All right, I am going to put forward. I haven't seen. I haven't seen 2 of his movies because I thought he fell off the face of the earth. So I'm putting forward Terry Gilliam. So, and interestingly enough, he doesn't make that many movies.
No.
So I'm going back to 1991,
Go
which
ahead.
is his 8th.
That's his
He's
8th.
the Fisher King.
91 is 8th back?
Yeah, and
Okay.
that was the Fisher King. It
Okay.
was a Mondo.
Fisher King was Mondo.
12 Monkeys, which was a Mondo.
Of course it was Mondo.
Yes, it was. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Mondo.
A Mondo. The Brothers Grimm. I thought it was a Mondo, but that may be a killer for you, but I loved it.
The Brothers Grimm was meh.
All right. Well, Tideland was definitely Mondo.
Tideland was Mondo.
The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus was a Mondo for me.
It was meh.
Okay, well, did you see the Zero Theorem?
Yes.
And is it a Mondo or is it a meh?
It is
It has to be Mondo.
It is a meh, which makes him
No,
which means at the
Gary!
end of his career he got meh, meh, meh for me because his last one, go ahead,
Was meh, yeah. It was the man who killed Don Quixote, which was a meh.
which was meh. So I am so sorry, Terry Gilliam. And
No,
at the rate you put out movies and at the rate that you seem to be your career seems to be dipping, you got to admit the movies at the beginning of his career were a whole lot better than the movies towards the end here.
Yeah, it was. He had the William Friedkin
Yeah.
syndrome.
So,
Right?
Yep.
Okay, well, I got a Mesmerized I'll put forward. Just
All right.
because I love her so much, and I keep forgetting to bring her forward, and that I'm putting forward Veronica Cartwright as Mesmerized.
Yeah. That's a pretty good nomination, actually. I will concur.
Yeah, woohoo!
Yeah.
She's made some stuff I actually should go back and look, but usually what happens is when I go through the list, I try to get them Undoubted or Undoubted, and then they just end up on the Mesmerized list.
I know.
So I think I went through and did her stuff already, but
Yeah.
I just love her so much.
Yeah. No, I get that. I'm with you.
Okay, well, that's all I'm going to bring forward this week
All right.
in the essence of time.
In the essence of time. All right. So I guess from there we go to. All right, last time on Rage or Dare, Jim had to pull from the remaining nuggets of rage contained in my most excellent bag. There inside the warmth and comfort of my dainty, lopsided bag, I haven't read this in advance, that's fantastic. He plucked the sassy little Will Smith film Wild Wild West. This week, Jim and I need to take a handful of merman rage when we sneak inside his sack for hopefully the presence of rage. Let's check in with Jim and see if he's singing along with Will to a happy or sad country tune. All right.
Well, Wild West.
By the way, Merman does that so much better than I do.
Yeah, we miss you, Mer. We want you back. This had everything you could want from a sci-fi Western comedy.
Yeah.
A young, mostly shirtless Will Smith, Kevin Kline in drag, historically accurate in all counts,
Yeah.
comedy, sassy language, great buddy comedy stuff, almost like an 1860s James Bond Western, including inventions and alike. Plus, it had some of the best character actors ever, including M. Emmett Walsh, who's brilliant in this movie.
Mhm.
I love him so much. And Ted Levine, yes, the James Gumb himself plays a bad guy. What a surprise. This was not terrible. It was a mess.
Really?
Yep. I thought it was all silly and campy, but the character actors in it actually made me appreciate it. There's some bad stuff in this. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a reason why there's not a second Wild Wild West. But I didn't hate it as much.
Kenneth Branagh in this is just... It's not good.
He's Kenneth Branagh. Why does anybody normally think he's good?
He is good.
Yeah, maybe in doing Shakespeare. But when he's not Shakespeare, he's pretty poopy.
Ah, come on. Dead Again was awesome.
No. He's, well, okay. Like I said, he's pretty bad.
That was about 40 years ago, but...
Yeah, exactly. Well, so was this. It was like 1999, right? So
yeah, that was only 20 years ago. Dead Again was like
actually,
35 years ago.
I didn't hate Kenneth Branagh in this, actually. I thought he played the villain pretty good. And
really?
He didn't have legs right through the whole movie. And the only thing that was missing from this, and maybe the technology couldn't do it, was the fact that he talked about making... I think at the very end they did do it. But it didn't show his giant mechanical genitals because he had alluded to that. And I kind of wish that was in it. It would have made it Mondo if that was there.
So that's
the genitals
that's the only thing that was missing from this movie. So they put that in, and then all of a sudden this movie becomes a perfect movie.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, well, that's exactly what I would have expected from this movie.
All right.
I wasn't expecting.
I don't even want to talk about this anymore because you're not taking this seriously.
What are you talking about? Don't pull a Murray on me. If you like some of the crap you've liked lately because of some stupid thing like David Letterman,
you're actually saying you liked something. This is like a opposite of Murray.
Oh, Murr, we miss you.
We do. Okay, on that note, I've got my hand in Murray's bag as we speak.
Oh, is it sweaty?
And I'm going to pull... It looks like I'm pulling out an extra long piece of paper.
Yes.
Are you in the mood for a little James Garner?
I'm always in the mood for James Garner.
What about if James Garner was acting with a man by the name of Mel Gibson, and perhaps Jodie Foster might even be in this as well.
What? I love all these people.
I know. Exactly. They're all in the same movie. How could this be a... Now, that's assuming that I'm remembering this correctly, but I believe all those people were in Maverick from 1994.
Wait a minute. This is kind of like Wild Wild West.
You're going back-to-back Westerns, my friend.
This was 1994.
Yeah.
And this had Jodie Foster, James Garner, and Mel Gibson.
There you go.
Oh, Graham Greene. There's so many great people in this. I can't wait to see this.
I watched it back then, and I'm going to tell you, I don't remember hating it. I mean, that was, what? Holy crap, that was 26 years ago. But I don't remember hating it.
I remember I always loved Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
So.
How bad could it be? I'm looking forward to it.
It could be terrible. It could be the non-comedic version of Wild Wild West, maybe.
It's based on the TV series, because James Garner was Maverick in the TV series, but I think he plays Maverick's father in this one. I think Mel Gibson is actually Maverick.
Yeah, he plays Marshall Dane Cooper.
Does he?
Yep.
All right, so...
I can't wait. This is the best.
It's going to be good. I think it is. Yeah,
maybe,
I'll go with it's going to be good. Thank you, Murray. I'm looking forward to watching Maverick.
As am I.
All right. And now a word from our sponsor. Canyon Meadows Cinemas, your one-stop entertainment and movie theater experience. Great food, private theater rentals, movies, video games, special events, Christmas parties, and podcasting special events. CMC meets and exceeds all the Health Canada requirements for a safe and healthy physical distancing experience. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a safe and socially distanced seating event or go online at canyonmeadowscinemas.ca.
Yep. Whoa, thanks again, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the Extended Film Rage crew of Leonard Conlon for his artistic vision and photography vid, Leonard Conlon Photography. Listen to us on all podcast streaming sites. Find us at Film Rage YYC, at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or on our website at filmrageyyc.com. We are always wanting your feedback to make this a raging blast for all listeners. So please go on social media, Apple Podcasts, our website, or Podchaser, and give us feedback. Or, even better, give us more dares of films for us to see. No matter what you do, please, please make us rage. Please, please. That's it for this week. Rage on.
Rage on.